Let's do our brows with 2 products, both drugstore, in a really simple way. I have 2 brow routines that I stick between and cycle through. This is my quick brow routine. I've done so many videos on my other more perfected full glam brow routine, but what you're gonna do is start with a lamination glue brow type product. You don't want a gel. And this is not me going for the laminated brow look. I just want a lot of hold. And what the hold is going to give me is the ability to manipulate all of the lash hairs I already organically have to lay in place exactly where I want them to, so that I have the least amount of brow hairs to draw as possible, which is going to give me a very quick way to get my brows done. So once I do that and have them laid how I want, I don't like the laminated brow look, so I will kind of swoop these down so that I don't have like a spiky brow, because that's just not my personal preference. See how much more clean that looks than this one? We're gonna go ahead and run this through and do the same on this eye. This is the Ardell Brow Glue. I got this at Walmart for like 11 bucks. If it is on TikTok shop, I will link it just for your convenience, but that is where I got mine. Pro tip, or maybe not a secret, but something that I feel like people don't talk about when they use lamination products, is the residue it leaves around your brows to be able to shape them where you want them, because the brush kind of is going all over the place. So I like to take my cellar water and make sure that I clean around my brows and remove that residue. Otherwise, when I go to put on my complexion products, it's going to look a little bit weird, sticky, and maybe give like a textured effect. I really think it's essential for making sure your brows look good if you're doing your complexion. You can see I've got like a little bit of places that I could use some definition, and that's where the NYX Snatch and Lift Brow pen comes in. This is great. This is such a good pen, you guys. I have the shade Espresso. I could have probably went a shade lighter, and I talk about that often, but that's okay. I'm just gonna use really light pressure and start creating hair-like strokes on the little places that are sparse. So you want to make sure that your brow is dry before you go in and do this, but let me zoom you in. It's just going to fill it in so perfectly to where it like literally looks like brow hairs. And so you have a nice structured, clean brow, but it's not super heavy either. So this is what I do also when I want a lighter brow kind of day. I'm going to show you zoomed in again on this brow who is struggling because I accidentally trimmed way too much of her. So she's just looking a little strange. Go in and clean these up with concealer, which is going to give us and leave us with a more crisp, clean, defined brow. Now you can leave them here and could leave them here, and they're not going to look bad, especially if you're not doing a full face. But if you are, we're going to add a third drugstore product. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, the only concealer that I will ever use to clean up my brows. I have talked about that for years. It is my fave. And this is the part in the brow step where if you didn't remove that residue, you're gonna start experiencing issues. So I'm just framing them out, and then I'm gonna blend this down. And whenever I go and put the concealer on my eyelids to prep them, this is just gonna look much better. And so it might look a little disconnected for the highlight of my brow bone with nothing else being on my face, but it just gives it such a crisper look. Do you see the difference? Again, skip this step if you're maybe like just wearing blush for the day and you're not gonna do anything crazy and you're not gonna put any kind of complexion on. Like the brows that you've seen before I concealed, I'll throw on some sunscreen and then like go to the pool, and that's it for my day. You know what I'm saying? And if you never have, just once, try it for me. Just one time, try it for me and tell me it doesn't change your life. And if it doesn't, I bet it probably does. And tag me in your video because I want to hype you up. But this is just a simple, affordable, quick drugstore brow routine. You can also use these products for other things. So like the eyebrow gel, you probably can't use it for anything else. And if you don't want this super highlighted on top, go in with your foundation shade or concealer shade that's darker. I'm just doing this for the purpose of showing you like it's super structured. It's obviously not going to be highlighted on my face. I have a playlist of like all my in-depth makeup tutorials and makeup looks and makeup that I've done on myself. So if you're curious about what my makeup looks like, then go check those videos out. But I promise this all comes together in the end, and this is how I get a quick, affordable, nice, crisp, clean brow.